Once I'm on a roll, I don't like to stop. Let's keep going. So let's tell some stories about Sky Captain Gannon. Alright, so I've mentioned QUAG before, the code term. So QUAG, which stands for Captain Weird Old Guy, actually stems down to my friend Chris McGath, who's an awesome juggalo. He's my juggalo family. We've been down for life. I've literally known him since I was 15 years old. I've watched him grow into a man and have a son and marry an awesome woman who loves me to death, and I love her to death. And so Chris McGath came up with that from, I'm pretty sure, 90% sure. That was the way he would know that it's me. I don't know if it's Chris McGath now. Now I'm starting to doubt myself if it was Darker Life or what. Yeah, so that was like a code term how he would know. I don't know. Maybe I said that to Scott. Whatever. So I always hung out with older gentlemen. Like, you could say really old men. Like 60. And I've just always enjoyed old people because they've lived life a lot. A lot of the ones I hang out with, they have a really great sense of humor. Some of them are extremely intelligent, and I like that too. And some people say I have daddy issues, basically. And there might be some truth to that because I did grow up, like, really afraid of losing my dad all the time. And I'm not sure if I talked about that before. All that level of depth. However, I'd like to go on about the story of Sky Captain. So, Sky Captain was met because I was hanging out with Scott. Scott Augustus, I forgot how to say his name. Augustus, I forgot. I like to call him Scoot. Scoot! Or Great Scott. He's my buddy. He's into physics, dinosaurs, and he was a photographer. He was actually one of my first actual photographers who actually had skill and great equipment, and we would work together at One Model Place modeling studio. And some of my most enjoyed portfolio work stems from Scott. And now Scott got kind of mad because he introduced me to Sky, and Sky Captain was the steampunk man at the Renaissance Festival. That's how I met him. He had all this crazy steampunk gear, like crazy stuff, like literally $15,000 suits. And I didn't know how much it cost back then. I was just obsessed with the steampunk stuff itself because one of my first professional modeling shoots was for a woman who was on Etsy, and she made steampunk clothes. And I'm going to have to post that steampunk collection on my OnlyFans, the $20 a month one. I'll go ahead and post that there because those are some beautiful to die for stuff. We had a makeup artist, amazing artist. A lot of stuff went into that. Anyway, so because of that steampunk shoot, I was obsessed with steampunk, and I wanted to add more of that to my portfolio and be a very exotic model, basically, because I wanted something to portray who I really am inside, okay? And so I meet Sky Captain, we stay in touch, we're on Facebook, and I text him and I'm like, hey, let me be your steampunk Barbie, please dress me up, I would love to do that. So I was just shooting the shit at the time. Never in a million years, looking back, would I have ever known and thought that we would become best friends and inseparable individuals. Okay? So let's go backwards. So Sky Captain knows a man named Jesse Malero. He's very well known in the community. He does amazing body paint work. He can just about sculpt anything. He's exceptionally gifted. Sky Captain convinces me that we should have Jesse Malero pay him to body paint me, and that I would build a great connection with Jesse. And I was also going to a superhero fetish party, one of my first fetish parties ever, okay? And I painted up like Tank Girl, okay? And that actually ended up being a great relationship with Jesse Malero. I mean, he body painted me so many times, and I never knew in a million years how much I would love being body painted. I know Sky Captain paid him off for me, which was a great thing. They were
left 3 lanes.
I don't know how long I have till she's gonna cut me off again. And again, I need to review my own content, or maybe somebody could leave in the freaking comments what happens when she talks, because I'm using GPS right now. So anyway, we go to the fetish party after I'm painted, and Sky Captain takes pictures of me with this camera, the Sony NEX5N, okay? And when he takes pictures of me, he posts them on Facebook, just post them all, not even thinking, in a batch too, by the way, which anyone that has Facebook and markets themselves or models or whatever, if you upload multiple pictures, you're less likely to get a lot of likes on the pictures because you mass uploaded them. You need to upload them one at a time to properly get decent exposure through the social media. So anyway, Sky Captain does it in a batch, and the pictures are getting like hundreds of likes basically overnight. And I'm like, wow, Sky, you have a talent. You're really good at photography, and people love your work. I think that you should invest some of your money that you invest in your steampunk stuff and buy some camera equipment. So I basically encourage this man to do photography, okay? And he does. And we became so tight, and would be like, and then, like, I don't even know if there's still videos on this channel or if it was the old channel. Yeah, there's some hilarious videos of Sky Captain, and I cherish a lot of memories with this man. I really do. I mean, some of my best work is through him. He was very gifted at setting up shots and scenarios and like staging stuff out. He taught me a lot, and we created so many beautiful things and shared so much creativity. And it was a beautiful thing. I eventually also made him get underwater camera equipment. I told him exactly what to get, and he invested in himself again and produced. This man isn't scuba certified, and I had this man putting on scuba equipment basically, and he was going with it. A cave instructor friend hooked him up. I won't name him and call him out yet. He knows who he is. He hooked Sky Captain up, and we all went diving together, and Sky was obviously out of his comfort zone. However, he still produced some beautiful images, and I have some of my most beautiful underwater images ever. And then I proceeded to introduce Sky Captain to all of my so-called friends, okay? I introduced him to like all these beautiful women who he could photograph, okay? And like, it's kind of shady now because Sky Captain and I had a huge falling out. And it all stems down to because Sky Captain made an agreement with me that he was going to buy me a new Mermaid Tail. And he would just like talk about it all the time and dangle it over my face at a time when I had just become a mermaid and my tail had fallen apart basically, because when Mertailer first started, I didn't have a instruction manual. Like, there was no information on taking care of your tail, or I didn't ask the right questions, or who knows what it all stems down to, okay? Bottom line is, I destroyed the tail. Completely destroyed it. I ratted and tatted up, I dragged it through things, I stood on it. At one point, I snapped the monofin. There's also there's a video of me snapping the monofin. I went down a water slide, and the fin completely snapped. It was a $500 repair by Mertailer. So that happened. So anyway, Sky Captain's teasing me about buying me a Mermaid Tail. This goes on for a couple months, and he starts, let's be honest, he falls madly in love with me and wants to marry me and starts talking shit where he's going to put a ring in the fluke of the Mermaid Tail, and by me accepting the Mermaid Tail is me accepting his proposal type crap. And it became really infuriating because it was like hard to draw the line between his sarcasm and his jokes and also his teasing, and just like at the time I was really young and poor basically, and yeah, you're teasing me with something that I can't have right now because I wasn't wise or taught right or whatever you want to say about managing finances at the time. And he drove me crazy, okay? He drove me fucking nuts. And he tried to weasel out of it by basically buying me a BCD, which honestly just recently turned to garbage. I mean, it's not garbage. We're working on getting it repaired. Yet it's still the principle of this hidden symbolism for me of this weird toxic relationship to go on for so long. At one point, he's saying something in the car that's making me really upset, and I'm like, you know, I always sit back and I kick my feet up, and I had these white wedges on, actually, that he bought for me for a photo shoot, and you've actually seen the wedges. I remember the wedges very well. It's an all-white photo set. It's a beautiful photo set, I'll tell you that. It's like one of our first ones. So we're sitting in the car, we're about to go out to eat or something, and he just starts nitpicking, you know, like picking at a scab, just messing with me. And so I have my feet up on the glass basically, and I start, like, I'm getting mad, and I'm like hitting the glass, right, with my freaking foot. And I didn't even realize it yet. Before I know it, my foot goes through the freaking windshield, okay, from the inside, and I break his fucking windshield. I remember another time where I'm basically threatening to break a lamp in the hotel just to make up for him, you know, teasing me, like almost like doing a wash, like almost like a revenge thing. I was so upset. Like, he would just drive me crazy and nitpick at me and just rub things in my face. And then it started getting, like, more bad, where he would buy things off my wish list, literally things on my wish list, and then give them to someone else, literally in front of me, kind of thing. Okay? So, stuff like that would happen.
Stay in the left 3 lanes.
And, you know, I've tried to repair the relationship, and I've tried to make amends. I've told him I'm sorry, basically, for, you know, my behavior and acting out like that and being so fucking immature and, like, emotional over material bullshit. Yet, he still finds the need to basically try to make me jealous all the time, and, like, uses my so-called friends, you know, like, against me, like, oh, look, I shot your friend. And, like, I wouldn't really mind. I mean, I don't mind. The reason why I introduced them is because I wanted my friends to have amazing portfolios and to know that they can do exactly what I've done. In fact, I've trained a couple girls. I told them exactly the process, how to basically market yourself, okay? I mean, I know through personal experience, and I love to help people out, and I love to watch their development. It became an addiction, actually, to create their accounts and watch their numbers skyrocket, watch their fans. My fans will become their fans. A lot of you know of many girls that I've helped out. I mean, I could go on and list a bunch of them right now, and as you can see, a lot of them fall off the fucking planet and decide that, oh, this isn't the life for me. They don't understand, or I guess they understand how much goes into it and how much I put into it, and they realize it's not worth the sacrifice. However, for me, it's worth the sacrifice. I fucking love every fucking minute of my life, and I'm so glad to have done all these things. Now, I actually saw Sky Captain recently since I shaved my head, and my hair was so short. And
in 10 miles, take exit 318 onto FL 16 towards St. Augustine.
We went to Possum Posse's house and looked at the animals. He took some amazing pictures, of course. However, I wasn't happy with my look, and straight up, he didn't find me beautiful anymore, which was kind of a great thing, I feel like, to finally shoot that bird in the sky, the Wendy bird, you know? However, I try so hard to basically help him and guide him. There's a woman that's been living with him, and he says all the time he's trying to get her out, and she won't go. And they also have kind of like a relationship, and it's really none of my business, and I don't like him telling me all that stuff. So I'm at the point where I just kind of just ended the relationship, and at the same time, I kind of would like to reconcile it, or like, I don't want to reconcile it, like, I want to have a healthy relationship with this man, and like, I don't want to lead him on, I don't want a relationship with him, like, romantic relationship. However, I love laughing with him, I love making pictures with him, I love traveling together, I love picking on each other, man. We would give each other shit all the time. It was a joke, yet it was done with love for us to better ourselves. Well, I gotta go. This has been fun. Thanks for hearing me out.